Good morning. Welcome to Exploring Economic Development with MEDC. I am Meredith Harris, joined today by my co-host, Jillian.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Wednesdays are the best days.
Always.
Especially the first Wednesday of every month where we get to live stream to
And hang out.
YouTube, LinkedIn. Where else are we?
Facebook.
Facebook, of course. And WMCT TV. Thank you so much for sharing our content. They're doing a great job over there.
They really are.
Cranking out the content.
They were at the Labor Day parade this weekend, out interviewing people, and I actually have to give a shout out to their intern, Jack, summer intern. He just finished, but I watched a video that he did yesterday. He interviewed people during the parade.
Yeah.
Hysterical. It was really good.
I got to check it out.
You do have to check it out. So really cool content.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about today, but it was a really cool little thing, and I loved it. And you
got to give
jogged
the
my
shout
memory.
out.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Check it out. So
Episode 37.
37.
We have a special guest with us today. Has to outdo his wife that's been on the podcast as well. I don't remember which episode she was on, but Jenny joined us from the Hyatt in the Fairfield many months ago. So now we've got, the second half. I don't know which one's inferior or not, but we won't go there. And we're trying to outdo a daughter who's looking for YouTube subscribers, right?
Yes, certainly. 9-year-old Celia has got her own YouTube channel, so it's been a big part of our lives.
So here you are. This is your debut.
This is your chance. What's the handle? Where can we follow?
It's at Cell the Noob, C-E-L the Noob on YouTube. She's at 245 subscribers, and I told her I'd get her to 246 today.
So you're going to be allowed to come home at the end of the day is what we're doing here right now.
Yeah, hopefully.
Love it. So with all of that being said, we'd like to welcome Marcus Kemblowski from Apex Entertainment to episode 37 of Exploring Economic Development.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I know I've been begging for 2 years to be on the show, and you finally got me on today. Thanks,
have been begging for 2 years to be on the show. It's actually not a lie, but we're really happy to have you today.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, so we were actually just chatting before we started. We've known each other now for what, 6 years?
Yeah, about
7 years?
6 years ago. Apex will be going on 6 years in December. So
That's crazy,
we met
right?
in March of 2017 when I moved to Marlborough.
And you started on your birthday.
Started on my birthday, yeah.
What a wonderful birthday present, right?
It was a very stressful 9 months after that, but
Right.
looking back at it, it was just a great memory and great experience that I wouldn't trade for anything.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit today about kind of Apex Entertainment, but we also want to talk a little bit about the Apex complex itself.
Sure.
But we want to kind of make a clear distinction for people that are watching. Can you tell us the difference between Apex Entertainment and the Apex complex, like Apex of New England? What's the difference between the two?
It gets confused sometimes.
Right.
The Apex Entertainment Center is essentially the entertainment complex within Apex Center. Apex Entertainment occupies the bottom 2 floors as well as the Apex Mini Golf and Apex Kids upstairs. But we're looking at Planet Fitness, Altitude, Half X. Those are separate businesses within our the Apex Center.
So they're tenants of the building, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's again we try and look at the whole complex as a destination stop, but they are run independently of Apex Entertainment.
Right. And then there's the Apex complex, right? So people that are driving by, right? So that includes the hotels, the restaurants. So what's that all about as well?
Yeah, I mean the 2 hotels, operated by the greatest sales manager of all time, Jenny Kemblowski. The Hyatt and
keep it in the family, right?
Nice.
It's a family podcast now. They're a big part of our business because there's so much transient traffic, corporate traffic in the community that overflows into the Apex Entertainment Center, and then we also have a couple great restaurants: Aviva Trattoria, 110 Grill. Chick-fil-A, Friendly's. There's really a lot of stuff to do if you look at just staying in the hotels and walking around there. It's a fun time.
All right, so we're going to jump around a lot, I know it, but can we talk a little bit about like the history, the background? So when I came to MEDC, Apex was being talked about. It was in the works, but it was still, and we've told this story before on the podcast, but it was still like on a napkin, right? So you have Joe Trella and Robert Walker that meet with the mayor, and hey, it kind of came down to the mayor wanted a white tablecloth restaurant. We're still looking for a white tablecloth restaurant for any, white tablecloth restaurateurs out there that are watching. However, Walker came back and basically said, I don't want to do a white tablecloth restaurant, but what about this? And came back with this napkin drawing of this entire complex, which included the 2 hotels, 6 restaurants, 350,000 square feet of, all this beautiful entertainment, all this stuff that came with it. Why Marlborough? Why did you guys choose Marlborough? I know you might not have been there for the napkin conversation, but you've been there since the beginning.
No, definitely. The napkin conversation is true. Robert drafted up his plans for ideally what he'd like to have in Marlborough. And why Marlborough? It's you look at the number of hotels in the city of Marlborough. It's one of the highest per capita. I believe it might be the highest outside of Boston. But the tech industry is huge. There's just a lot of flow through, and you right off of 495. You also have the New England Sports Center, which is a big draw for us. Seeing the number of largest hockey rink in the country, the amount of tournaments go through there, but it really checked all the boxes because the regular walk-through traffic is hopefully always going to be there, but you really need the corporate side of things and kind of the first-time visitors to Marlborough to really kind of keep it push it over the edge and keep the business growing. So it really hit all our boxes with hotels, the sports complex, great location right off of 495. So it's going on 6 years. It's just been a great success, and it's really grown year over year outside of the pandemic. It's been an increasingly growing business, especially on the corporate side for us.
Well, I think it's interesting too. So there's office included in the complex as well. I mean, lots of different retail. And one of the biggest things when we were still talking about the Apex in theory, people were really jazzed up about traffic. And oh my gosh, is this going to bring more traffic to the area? It really hasn't done that. The traffic is self-contained. It's kind of inside the complex, right? Yeah,
I think the stoplight turning into the complex. I think if I recall correctly, it could fit about 25 cars with the green arrow, and it very seldom backs up. It did, in the first couple years in the winter months when we were just opening, but it really, like you said, it's self-sustained. It's not an issue. And I think it's just done a lot of great things for the community. It's a good fit, and like a lot of cities and towns out there, there's just not a lot to do when you look, especially in the winter months. Being in New England, there's not a lot of indoor things to do for families and children.
Well, it's funny because a lot of places around the country, malls, different places that are trying to kind of reinvent themselves. This whole idea of entertainment being the crux of kind of what you're looking at, that's becoming more and more popular. People want a space where folks are coming and doing something instead of just coming to shop. So you guys are really kind of ahead of the curve when it came to that.
Yeah, I think we were fortunate. The location, panned out to be very successful, and at the same time, there's enough to do in the complex to spend a full day.
Correct.
Without a doubt. I mean, most visitors will stay at Apex anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, and that's just at Apex. You still have the other venues upstairs. You have the restaurant, so you could easily spend a couple hours, doing different things within the Apex Center.
Within the spot.
Yeah.
So from an economic development perspective too, the Apex, the complex itself brings in about $1 million a year in revenue to the city. That doesn't even include the meals taxes, the hotel tax that comes in. So it's a huge generator for the city as well. And it's just been such a cool thing to add to the community. And it's really become a part of our makeup of Marlborough, which is kind of neat. Ooh, Jill's throwing up throwback photos already. So this is us, Marcus. This is from, what was that, January of 2018?
2018.
2018,
right,
yeah. So, I mean, just such a cool spot. I remember that day very vividly. There was Jill's, the picture too of the stairs with everybody there for the ribbon cutting. It was just such a cool thing that came to Marlborough. Everybody was so excited about it.
No, it really was. And looking back on those memories, it really was just a great experience getting it finally opened off the ground, because we did delay it a couple of times just due to construction. And when that day finally hit of opening December 26th, it was.
But it was fast. From the day you guys broke ground to the day that I think it was the Hyatt that was first. I think the whole
from start to finish, it was 9 months of construction, which is extremely quick when you look at the.
From the
scope.
day from the day that they put the overlay in to the council to the day that the Hyatt was open was like 18 months, which is unheard of. of.
That's unheard of.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So what was it like being part of that process? I mean, that must have been really intense. I mean, we actually had like an old building commissioner that came on staff to be at the Apex Center to make sure that things were moving along, and it was really kind of cool to watch it happen.
Yeah, no, it was very exciting. At the same time, looking to essentially hire 200 plus employees, and really no one with experience in this industry.
Yeah.
And again, I did not know anyone when I moved to Marlborough. So
You're from where?
Originally, I grew up in Chicagoland
Chicago.
area, and then lived in Wisconsin
That's
before moving to Marlborough for the opportunity to work
Right.
for Robert and Apex Entertainment. And looking back, there were a lot of stressful moments, especially shifting and in the opening day due to construction. You're trying to be as close to a bullseye as possible with
Right.
all the moving components and training the staff. But tell you, it was fun. I don't know. I think looking back on it, I probably should have been a lot more nervous and scared, realizing what I'm getting into. But it was a good
But you
risk.
moved your whole life
I
here.
moved my whole life here. Yeah,
That's incredible. That's incredible.
I mean,
And here you are.
yeah. Again, oldest of 6 kids, have 3 great younger brothers, twin sisters, and they're all in the Chicagoland area. And essentially, move 15 plus hours away. It was a big change, and it was it was tough. I mean, there were a lot of times, especially that December 25th. That was the first time ever I wasn't with my family for Christmas. Working to get the building ready. But
Were you on site that day?
I actually was. No, I actually was, and I'll tell you, there was my car was the only one in the parking lot. There was snow everywhere, and I was looking out the window, going, What am I doing?
What am I doing here?
Yeah, but you look back and it's the sacrifice was worth it in
Right.
short term for the long term success of the project.
So you look at Robert Walker. So Robert's his development company is called RAVentures, and they are up in Westford. That's where their home base is. But a lot of projects now around the country too. And he's somebody that truly admire. And look at the work that he's done and the things that he's completed. He was a pleasure to work with. He was tough to work with, but the reason he's tough is because he gets things done, and he has really high expectations of both the community that he's working with, but the people that work for him. And I will never forget. I mean, literally, you would go down, Jill, to the complex, and like Robert was like putting shoes into like the bowling, like into the space because he wanted it done correctly. But he's the type of person that would be boots on the ground, actually working with the folks that were there. So incredible amount of respect for him and the operation, but. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, so there's how many other Apexes around the country?
So we have 4 total Apexes. Marlborough was the first, followed by Syracuse, New York, Albany, New York, and then Virginia Beach,
and you opened Albany right before the pandemic, right?
Yep, right before the pandemic. It was. We opened Virginia Beach during the pandemic.
Did you really?
Yeah, December 11th, which, it was challenging just because every state, every town had different restrictions and trying to get these things off the ground. But the 2 New York locations are about half the size of the one in Marlborough and Virginia Beach. They're both in shopping malls, a little different experience, but Virginia Beach is very similar to the one that we have in Marlborough, and hopefully more to come. As you mentioned, Robert, truly the best person I've ever worked for, pushes you hard, extremely caring, and gives you makes you a better person. But he's got a lot of stuff going in Florida right now. Some new restaurants, Kelly's Roast Beef, which just opened up. And I'll tell you, when I started with him, I think there were 6 110 grills. Apex wasn't open yet, and now it's, I think, 36, 40, 110 grills, the Kelly's Roast Beef, Willie Jewell's, Aviva. I mean, it's incredible. It's amazing, and that's despite really 2 years of, kind of having the economy, stand still, but he kept his foot on the gas, and he's always doing something.
No, but he knows how to get it done, right? And he does. One of the things that we loved about working with Robert and his team at Marlborough was when he said he was going to do something, he did it, and he came through on his promises. And I think just from a business perspective, that's really important when you're working with developers. From a municipal perspective, there's nothing worse than having somebody come in and promise you all these things and then not having them deliver on it. And when you're working with city councils and folks that are elected in positions like that, that's really important. And so we loved working with Robert.
But I think it goes both ways. Since day one, yourself, the mayor, everyone was very welcoming, supportive of trying to help us out to get the project off the ground, and it definitely goes both ways. and it was funny when you said very hands-on. I'll never forget, about 5 days before we opened, it was Sunday, and Robert called me at like 2:45 a.m. and that's when we're on really early mornings, and he's like, "Hey, are you up?" And I'm like, "Oh, I am now." And we were down there sweeping the concrete for
but
hours.
He's there with you,
and
correct.
that's, you're right. It's hard not to respect someone that's right there with you helping.
He doesn't
out,
ask you to do it and then not go himself.
No, absolutely not.
No. All right. So now it started off, the hotels were built, then the restaurants, the retail. Then you had phase one of the office building was built. That includes Venture X, a couple of other folks that are in there. But then the phase two of the office building was built as well, right?
Correct. And that was, the Apex was the last portion of the complex to open, followed by the phase two of the office building. And that was, it made sense. It kind of went from the Hyatt on down, as obviously we had a lot of complexity and the entertainment side of it.
Right.
But it really, I thought, flowed well from start to finish, from going from one end to the other. And when you look at the time frame, it was very smooth when you watch it from day one till where we're currently at.
Well, and it's interesting too, because you don't see a lot of new, especially at that time, you weren't seeing a lot of new office buildings being built, right?
Yep.
And so certainly a new office building coming into the market, changes things for the other office buildings in the market. It really kind of, brings the level of what you're offering in your community up, and it forces other folks to try and, lift the, what do they call, rising tides, waters, whatever the heck that, no one knows what I'm talking about.
We'll start using that saying now. Rising tides, lowering water, sinking boats, rising water, or something like that.
That's it.
That's the one. That's the one right there. Yeah, I love it. But no, it's interesting. We then started seeing, now we're starting to see the GMP facilities are being built. There's a lot of manufacturing buildings, and now office buildings. A lot of the older office product is being turned into manufacturing or reimagined in different things. So it's just interesting, because that was the first office building that was built in the market in a while, which was kind of neat.
No, it's I think you see a lot of even across the street from us, there's a lot of improvements being made there. I think it becomes contagious when new and exciting things are happening. It kind of makes you want to, hey, how do we make this better as well?
That's the boats with the water.
The boats, that's the sinking boats.
Boats up.
Boats, tides.
That's it. That's the one.
It. All right, so do you have any idea? There's a lot of people. We talked about the sports center. The sports center obviously sees about 1 million visitors a year. There's a lot of folks coming from all over the country that come in to play hockey. They come from all over the world, really. Where do you guys track this, or do you know where people are coming from when they come to the entertainment complex? Is it a lot of the hockey families? Is it people from Massachusetts? Where are your visitors coming from?
You know what? We do track it to some extent. It's difficult to get an exact read on that, but we have people consistently coming from Connecticut to New Hampshire, from Boston, then obviously the hockey, the traveling tournaments from out of state. You see a mix, from all over the country, and it really, there's nothing quite like it, in the area. So you think to drive an hour or 2 hours isn't unheard of for people to come there and spend the day. So we do see a very diverse group of people traveling to Apex, and it's I think that's what we talked about in the beginning with the location. That's what I think really encourages that, being right off 495 and having so many things to do. And even a lot of folks, when they're the locals, will again take advantage of the hotels and do a lot of staycations, and that it's a fun thing to do in town even if you're not traveling, to just hang out for the weekend and to swim in the pool and go to Apex and
was it Lindsay that used to talk about staycation, or was it you, or was it Lindsay?
I think it was Lindsay.
Was it Lindsay that literally lived in Marlborough, grew up in Marlborough, but used to go and stay at the hotels in Marlborough for fun?
That was me. Yeah.
Was that you?
Yeah, my dad would take us swimming.
That's right.
In the middle of the winter, just as like a random. He would take us on a mystery ride, and then we would just stay at one of the hotels down by Best Western.
What do you blindfolded so you didn't know that you weren't leaving the city?
Yeah. It's just a regular thing. Usually mystery rides meant we were going to a yard sale.
Oh, fun.
Yeah,
those are
but
fun
in
too.
the middle of the winter, sometimes it meant we would get to go swimming inside a pool.
Well, now you can bring your kids on a mystery ride to Apex, right? So it's all good, right?
I love that.
All right, so people are coming from all over. What's the most popular attraction? What do people like to go to?
I think
and you can't play favorites. We know that.
No. I'm not playing favorites. I think it's hands down the multi-level electric go-karts, because they really give you a unique experience that's exciting, but at the same time extremely safe to operate, and it's fun. So
they're fast though.
They're very fast. I think ours are right now. They're scaled to go about just under 40 miles an hour, but they have the capability. Again, we would never do this, but if you did turn them all the way up, they could go in excess of 65 to 70 miles an hour.
The go-karts?
Yeah, you could, but it's something we don't even have access to. The company would come down. It wouldn't work on our track, but they have the potential to do that.
All right, but now you're getting people really excited and they're thinking they can do this.
Yeah, now go-karts, then outside of that, bowling is we're one of very few areas to offer candlepin bowling, which is kind of unique to the Northeast. I didn't know what it was when I moved here.
I kind of still don't know what candlepin bowling is. What's the difference?
Smaller balls, skinny pins.
Smaller balls, skinny pins, more pins. You get an extra turn, and
Yeah.
it's actually a lot harder.
I feel like this is a North Shore thing because my husband talks about candlepin bowling a lot. I don't even know. Yeah.
No, have you not been? So you have,
I'm bowled at
do you
Apex.
have 4 lanes there?
Yeah,
that
we
are
do,
for-
and we also have obviously the 10 pin as well, and then
Yeah.
the VIP. But for younger kids, I'll tell you, it's a lot easier for them to throw a 4 or 5 pound ball down the lane than something that's a little bit bigger, harder to manage, and it's fun. It's a whole separate challenge. I mean, it's not easy. The first time I tried it, it was I think I almost threw the ball straight through the ceiling because I just couldn't let it go. But and again, it's just offering different options for different people.
Okay, so challenge accepted. I feel like we need to go do some candlepin bowling.
Take the kids.
Okay.
One of my favorite features about that you guys have is that you can customize. I mean, it's just technology blowing my mind again. You can customize for each player that comes up. So I've got 4 kids. So my 13-year-old doesn't want the bumpers. My 9-year-old sometimes, depending on her mood, and then the twins want the bumpers, and then so you plug in the names and you when it gets that person, the bumpers come up, the bumpers go down. It's really
and nobody's
mind-blowing.
upset about it.
No one's upset about it.
What about, do you use the bumpers, Joe?
I mean,
I feel like I might need to use the bumpers. It sounds like it might be something. All right, I love it. So, so bowling and the go-karts, 60-mile-an-hour go-karts.
No, they can. They only go 38, but no, they can. Yeah.
All right, so you mentioned VIP room. Tell us about that.
I'll tell the VIP bowling area it's one of my favorite places in Apex because it's a great spot to have a birthday party, anything really that's consisting of 100 people or less. It's got a private bar. It's got a little different decor in there, a private restroom, and you're able to
shut the doors.
You can shut the doors, yes, as well. So if you're doing a retirement party and you want to show slides and kind of go through that experience, you can. It's a fun area in the building to have an event where it's a little bit larger size compared to like a birthday party room, which is more customized for younger children. And this could be used. We've done anything from bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, wedding rehearsal dinners, bar mitzvahs. I mean, you name it. We've
done rehearsal dinners, really?
Yep. And we had some great pictures of the bride and groom on go-karts, bowling, taking some.
I love it. I never really even thought about that.
In the beginning, even with the design phase, that was always the goal of making it customizable. So you could really do anything. The bowling lanes, the furniture could be removed to, support, people with disabilities and wheelchairs. As we've had Special Olympics and numerous times doing things there. So it's very flexible and customizable to do really whatever you're looking for. Yeah.
All right. So you do kids' birthday parties.
Kids' birthday parties. Yeah.
Bachelorette parties, bachelor party. I mean, you guys pretty much do it all.
Everything. And recently we've started doing live comedians, up in the event space. We've had some really good success with that. Dueling pianos is another big thing for us. And we're continuing to just think of ways to differentiate ourselves from the competitors and utilize the space to have, some different events, because you might not want to ride go-karts or bowling, but you might be interested in seeing a comedian or something like that. So it's offering different options, and it's so far they've been really successful for us trying different things.
And you guys have been really great too. I just want to touch upon your kind of community engagement. So from day one too, you guys have been really great. Whenever we reach out, if we, you guys are always willing to do whatever it is that we're asking you to do. And, whether it's, hey, at the last minute, we need someone to come and fill in for the food truck festival and be a cocktail vendor. You guys are right there when we ask, but you're also doing a lot of things with community groups where you're giving money back, doing different types of collect. So you guys really do a lot in that space, which I think is great and important for people to know about as well.
It's really one of the most important things that we decided to do from day one, and you have to connect with the community, you have to give back, and obviously, we're a business, but there's more to just being open and making money. We were involved in a ton of different charitable organizations. We have a different programs that help give money back to the schools with our family fun days. We have our whole Apex Cares program, which is all about giving back to the community. And that's honestly, at the end of the day, that's probably my favorite part of the job is just, being able to give a youth baseball team a pizza party if they won the championship and do different things.
Awesome.
It goes a long way. And that's how I think you create those memorable experiences for people in the community. And it's something I think they'll grow up to tell their kids about, some of the memories over time. And it's something we're very proud of.
And you should be. And we were just talking about, there was bubbles in the Labor Day parade one year.
There sure was. Yeah,
we're going to bring that back.
It's coming back.
We're going to bring back the bubbles. Joe loved it. And Marcus wasn't sure people were on board with the bubbles.
Feedback, but no, it's such a great time, and there's so many different things to be involved in, and it creates awareness. There's still a lot of people, again, that are local that might not have ever been to Apex, and if we can help them out and create a lifelong customer, that's a win-win.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys are super involved in our MHS job fair. I know you guys have always shown up for that. I remember early on, right when you were first opening, you guys were giving out some cards to the kids to come over, and it's a great recruiting tactic as well, because for our students that are
because I mean,
seniors,
we need
graduates looking for jobs.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we need at any given time, in essence, about 200 plus employees at Apex, so we're always looking for good people to join the team and that want to have fun and kind of work in that environment.
Do you remember when we did the job fair? So it was one of the last in-person job fairs that we actually did, but we had a job fair where there was a separate room for Apex because you guys were hiring, if the number is in my mind, I think it was like 1,600 employees, whether it was temporary, permanent, but we did like a separate job fair for Apex, which was kind of neat. We haven't done an in-person one in a long time, but things have kind of changed since then. But so you just jogged my
other job fair.
Yeah, you just jogged my memory as well. So we did. I want to talk a little bit about corporate events and space that you guys, meeting space you have available, because I think a lot of people probably know about it, but there might still be some folks out there that don't know that you can have corporate events. We hosted a couple, I want to say months ago, and probably almost about a year ago at this point. But in conjunction with the Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce, it was like a career fair. Which was really kind of cool. And it was
done so well.
Please, Jill, jump in, because you were there, and it was really kind of neat.
Yeah, and we had schools I think
it was 6 different schools that participated.
Quite a few,
And you guys were able to facilitate in all of your different function rooms, different
industries.
Different industries. And the students would go around and hear these great presentations. They had QR codes on their lanyards where they could connect with potential employers, and it was really, really well done. And the kids, they know the place. They're like, oh, we can do the golf simulator here next time we're here.
Right.
Absolutely.
Great venue.
It was cool. So what else can you guys host there? So obviously corporate events. I mean, I've been to a lot of different things at Apex, but the space that you have on that second floor is, to your point, pretty customizable, where you can host large groups of people, small groups of people, different types of events. So take it away.
The upstairs, the event rooms are very, again, customizable to do different events. We could comfortably seat, 200 plus people in the event room, but also utilize that top bar area, which we recently did for the first time. We did a casino night for the Dollars for Scholar or Marlborough Scholarship Foundation, where the proceeds went back to that. But that was something entirely different, of wrapping blackjack tables around the bar ledge and really gutting all the dining tables out to make that look like a small casino. But what makes the event space so fun is you're able to do your meetings, your trainings, your awards, whatever it might be, and then have those breakout sessions of food, then onto attractions. And it's a fun experience, but also allows you to get the business side of it done prior to that.
And you guys have a full restaurant. The food is phenomenal too. There's big, huge pretzels and all kinds of cool stuff.
We have New England's largest pretzel at about 1.5 pounds pretzel, which is one of our signature items. But food is fun.
Hold on, that's a fun fact.
A fun fact. I threw that in there today. But a lot of different shareable items that are fun, a little more I don't want to say exotic, but just different things that are creative and at the same time, somewhat easy to execute because the volume on a Saturday or even during some of the they're cranking some a lot of food out of the kitchen.
There's a lot of pretzels.
A lot of pretzels coming out. But it's we're getting ready ready to launch a new menu here in the next couple months. We're trying to keep it fresh, just like anything. You have to. We've been adamant about reinvesting the money back into the facility. We just recently rethemed the laser tag, added some new arcade games in here, as well as a new menu to kind of just keep it exciting and a new experience. If you haven't been to Apex for a while and you want to come check that out, you're able to see some new things and enjoy some different attractions. And
the bumper cars still going?
Bumper cars are going strong. Yeah,
that was always my favorite.
That was one of your favorites.
We got a picture in here. Let's see. I
don't know if you have me on the bumper cars.
Oh yeah, you know what? We might not. We have you on the.
I don't usually win on the go-karts, but I do like the go-karts, you know? Oh, we got some... Is that the menu that's behind me?
We got the menu behind you, too.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect. I love it. All right, so switching gears a little bit, but we talked a little bit about RAVentures / Apex. I mean, there's a lot to talk about when you think about Apex, right? But I think it's interesting just from a business standpoint to see how RAVentures has kind of evolved over the years. And when we first met each other, you were the general manager of Apex Entertainment. You now are the COO of Apex Entertainment?
of Apex Entertainment, and like you said, over time, a lot has changed with that, and it's changed for the better. You know, at first, when we first opened, I was essentially the IT person, I was the marketing person, the general manager, a little of everything, and not that I don't enjoy doing that stuff. There's just we've consolidated a lot of our efforts under RAVentures umbrella to have an IT department now, a whole marketing team that's able to focus on all the brands that we have and get a few more just standards and consistencies across the platform, and also free us up to operate the building, continue to train and develop people. But that's probably been the biggest change, and I think the biggest change for me, because we were so used to making those decisions and calls, and now we're still involved, and it's still fun because we have a lot of people that are experts in that area, and we're able to kind of bounce ideas back and forth, and
just makes it easier. I'm sure.
It really does. And the job itself has really become easier with time, as we have a great team that we have working for us, as well as a lot of those supporting roles that allow you to, have other resources to get things done.
Right.
Okay, wait. Let me just jump in. Sorry.
Yeah, please.
Speaking of a great team, is Allie Wilson on your team? Because she says, I had my phone propped up while watching at work in the Apex Center. So she's not on your team. She's at least.
Yeah, I sent the links out to everyone today if they wanted to watch this. And
so that means that the Wi-Fi works at the Apex Center as well. Is that what
it does, Meredith? Yeah, it's working. It's good.
That's awesome. So I want to talk a little bit about the marketing, though. You guys have incredible marketing, and so some of that probably falls under the fact that you've consolidated things. But like you guys you hear commercials for the Apex Center everywhere, EEI, and you guys do a lot with Phantom Gourmet, and so you guys are really. I don't want to say unique, but really creative when it comes to your marketing and the things that you do.
It is, and I think at the same time we have a lot of fun with it. One of the things that I really enjoy the most was our for every time the New England football team makes a field goal, we're able to donate proceeds to that field goal back to NECC, which is a local school for children with autism, and to kind of make it so, again, the team's success is successful for everyone, and different things that are fun and just not stagnant. But yeah, we do a ton on radio, do some on TV. This market is actually, I think, one of the best for us to market in, because you have such definitive sports fans and radio stations where it gets a little more challenging in the New York markets, because you have a lot of different sports teams compared to
that
Syracuse.
Are inferior to ours.
Of course, and again, like the Syracuse University is obviously a big draw there compared to the professional teams, and then Virginia Beach really doesn't have that. You're really capitalizing more on the military background there and all the folks stationed there. So it's a whole different ball game looking at how we allocate marketing dollars across all locations, and it's, I think Marlborough's been the most successful because of some of the moves that we've made, and they're a little bit easier and more transparent here than in some of the other markets.
That's so that's super interesting to think about, military versus sports, and New England is absolutely very sports heavy and competitive in that nature, and so it's interesting to hear kind of the thought process behind some of that.
Yeah, I mean we put a lot of effort into our military campaign in Virginia Beach, as we do everywhere, but it's a different set of challenges that we have to familiarize ourselves with in those markets, where
to be successful.
Yeah, I mean it's not as impactful here as it is there, but there's and then sports is obviously huge here, so you have to really go into each market with a open mind mind and different perspective. Yeah, absolutely. And
That's
again,
interesting.
you're not always going to, hit a bullseye, but you got to just try different things until you find something that lands. But it's that is one of the fun parts of, when you do get something that sticks and watching the success it has and being like, well, we got that one right.
That was
At
good.
least
We won
nailed that one.
Yeah.
All right, so what's your favorite thing outside of Apex Entertainment? So I'm talking like axe throwing, all the trampolines. What's your favorite attraction?
I'll tell you, I used to, going back, 10, 15 years ago, I used to really enjoy trampolines. Prior to working for Apex, the place that I oversaw had a trampoline park, and playing the dodgeball on that and doing some different things on that. It's fun. I don't think I do it now, is the fear of popping a knee or something out. Yeah, getting older.
Slipping arm that comes around.
It used to be fun. Now it looks like a hazard and a liability. But
Workers' coffee.
It's too many things. I'll tell you, I really enjoy taking a step back and even playing the arcade at times, slowing down.
Sure.
And I'll tell you, axe throwing something that I'm not very good at. And the more I've watched it, whether it's on TV, on ESPN, the people that are good at that are unbelievable. And it's such a skill. At first, when I saw it, I thought it was just chucking axes at a wall, and it's so much technique behind it, and it's fun to watch. People that are very good.
It's funny because the guy who runs Half Axed was a local guy, who I remember coming into the MEDC, and he had this idea and was like, "Where can I go in this city?" And I'll never forget being like, I don't really know where you can go in the city. Like you want to throw axes. Like it was such a foreign concept at the time.
Yeah.
And then you guys came along, and it was like, okay, here's the perfect spot for you. And so the guy's name is Derek, right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, Derek. And so just a really cool, story of a guy who came in, wanted to open up the store. We all thought he was crazy, but what a wonderful thing that's been added.
I mean, we've added that attraction in Virginia Beach as well as Syracuse, and it's fun. And looking back 6 years ago, I would have been like you. It's crazy. What do you mean throw axes and drink alcohol? It seems like a little off the wall, but it's a fun time.
But it fit right into I'm sorry, I have hit my microphone many times this episode.
I'll fix it in post.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But that was one of those ones that was a perfect fit. We've also, as a team, we've done the Mind Trek, kind of the VR. Is it the games, all that kind of? You guys have a lot of cool stuff over there. And
I love the escape room.
That's what I meant. That's what I was talking about. Am I talking about something different?
Did you get out?
Oh yeah, we got
out.
out.
Did.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
went out with some teacher friends, and we
breakout
were
room. That's what it's called, right?
It's fun too. And then obviously you have Planet Fitness, which is a little curveball for the rest of the complex. But I tell you, it's a awesome.
Probably a lot of
location.
people though coming in and out for Planet Fitness.
And that's when you look at especially early mornings, they do an amazing business, and it's such a clean and well designed location, and it does well for them.
Right. Yeah. And what's the Apex Kids? What's that? That's
Apex Kids is for a little younger demographic, I'd say 10 and under. It's got indoor inflatables, a little obstacle course. It's got arcade games that are more geared towards children, smaller profiles. We're going to be adding some enhancements to that this for 2024 as well. But that complements the rest of the complex in our business, is having something to do. So if there's a family with a young child and a little bit older, you're able to keep them both happy.
Yeah. So really, there is fun for all ages, and I'm not saying that to be cheeky, but you can literally bring your 4-year-old to play on the inflatables. You can go to the golf simulator. I mean, there's so much to do over there.
There is, and one of the things that we'll always remember is we had an 88-year-old grandmother on top of the ropes course with her granddaughter. This is a true story, and I remember looking at it, and I go, boy, this really emphasizes there's something for everyone there, because whether you're 88 or 4 years old, you're gonna have fun there.
Fun. I haven't been on the ropes course in a long time.
I'll tell you, from the ground you look up and it doesn't appear to be that high. When you get on top and you look down, it's scary. 17 feet off the ground, it's higher than you think. I don't like that attraction.
Oh wow, you have a picture of me doing that as well.
I do.
When Apex first opened, we were there a lot, and we haven't been back in a while, so it's fun to talk about some of the stuff that's going on in the updates, because it is still really happening over there. There's still a lot going on.
A lot of new things, and just trying to every year we go to a trade show conference to look at all the new arcade games, attractions, and try and find out something that might fit in there to keep it fresh and
exciting.
Yeah, the worst thing you could do is really just let things get stale. Old arcade games, just not keeping it fun, because you're right. If you went in there tomorrow and saw something new, it kind of re-energizes you, and it just you have to stay current in this industry, in this business.
And I mean, in the whole complex, I mean, we've talked about some of the restaurants, but there's like there's swim school, like there's a lot of cool
Goldfish
stuff.
Swim School. Yeah,
My husband goes to the battery store all the time. There's a battery store over
Batteries
there.
Plus, yeah, that's,
Literally, there's all. So, anyways, there's lots of cool things to do. We're running out of time. We're almost at the 45-minute mark, but before we let you go, we are going to play a game with you.
Oh boy.
When she gets a little nervous, don't be too nervous, but this is a fun episode. So we're playing a game called Where Should We Go? And so we're going to throw a scenario at you, and you need to tell us where should we go in the Apex complex. We will bring it to the entire complex.
I like it. Sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, we've got like maybe 5 or 6 scenarios.
All right, take it away, Jill.
All right, so our MEDC team is planning a staff outing. Where should we go?
Apex Entertainment.
Yeah, but where?
Where specifically?
No, well, Apex Entertainment, the entertainment complex.
Should we do the breakout room?
You should do everything in that building. Yeah. So I'm going to just say that
this is a long outing.
I'm going to be a little selfish with this one and say it's going to Apex Entertainment.
Please.
So
all right.
You'll be there.
So just the bottom. So just so people know.
Well, just really the bottom two floors. You can do the mini golf, which is upstairs, and probably not the inflatables. Yeah, but I'm going to keep this one. So
we can't do the inflatables. Do you think we might break them?
Yeah, you for you can.
All right.
Okay. All right. How about this one? Now we're going to be more specific in the building itself. Meredith wants to take her 2 toddlers out for an adventure on a rainy day.
Where are we going? Where should we go?
Oh boy, I would go with Apex Kids for that one. It's perfect.
Awesome.
Boy, I'm giving myself too many of these questions here.
No, I like it.
I think that for 2 toddlers would be a great spot, and again, it will keep them occupied. Then after that, I'd take them over to Friendly's and get some ice cream. Yeah.
Could they do the trampolines? Do you think? Now I'm being selfish.
No, they could. That'd be another option too. I think with that, like anything, it's for the younger children. Typically, a weekday or even a Friday. The earlier the better. Is Saturdays when it's cold and rainy. It's a zoo.
When Jill's there with her 4 kids,
yeah,
we'll stay away from the trampoline park.
Yeah. Steven said kids with the Friendly's ice cream.
I know. There's nothing better.
Yeah,
there's nothing better.
Oh, with the peanut butter sauce. Oh, Reese's. Come on.
I have to get one after this. That's good.
All right. The MHS football team, go Panthers, wants to celebrate
Hold on.
Panthers eat hawk meat.
Okay, perfect.
There we go.
Done. Yep.
The MHS football team wants to celebrate the end of their season later this fall. Where should they go at the Apex?
I would say that for that one, that would be in the private dining room at 110 Grill. We could definitely accommodate that team and keep it, somewhat private and enjoy, the vast menu items and have fun at the in that location as well.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that answer. I like that.
That was good.
What do you think I was going to say?
I didn't know what you were going to say. I like that though.
And thank you, Stephen. Eat that hawk meat. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. All right. How about this one? I've got the need for speed, and I'm looking for an adrenaline rush. Where should I go?
Well, I'm going to have to go back to the well one more time and be like, you're going to have to ride the go-karts at Apex.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to get the company to come down and turn the speed up because now we know the secret.
We're going to turn the speed up, and then, afterwards you could, go through Pro Clean Car Wash and clean off all the mud.
Wow.
That was a good one. I like that.
All right, we got a couple more. So we missed the summer outdoor adventures, and we're looking for a challenge indoors. What's some activities we could do? Maybe me and my kids.
I would say, with that one, I would go probably to altitude, the trampoline park, because there is the rock climbing wall in there, the trampoline, the different obstacles in there, and it kind of you could pick the area that's based on your experience and comfort. So I think altitude would be a good spot for that.
What about the laser tag too?
Oh. I was afraid to go to laser tag. Not afraid.
Why are you afraid to do laser tag, Jill?
I brought my oldest son with his friends, and I was like, "Am I too old? Should I let them do the thing?" And then I was like, Matthew's like, "Mama, you should join us." So I went, and
they beat you.
It was so much fun. It was so much fun. Oh my god!
And it's funny for laser tag for October. We're going to theme that and decorate it Halloween to kind of give it more of a haunted house experience. So it's something new we're trying.
All right.
We got a couple more here. We just finished a huge project here at the MEDC, and our team needs a blend of relaxation and excitement.
Ooh, this sounds fun.
Relaxation and excitement.
We're a little stressed out. There's a ton of work. I just want to relax.
Just relax. I would say go to the Hyatt Place hotels and get everyone a complimentary night stay there and enjoy the
complimentary.
Jenny will throw that in, I'm sure.
Okay, all right, Jenny.
But no, I'll tell you, it's a great. I know I've stayed there at times. It's a great hotel. The pool pool's very nice there, as well as having the outdoor patio area, and it's fun. And then you could walk over and experience some of the restaurants. And
that was a great answer.
Yeah, that was good.
these are getting harder as it goes on. You need to throw me a
an easy one.
One more that's very relevant to me. This is just a selfish thing here. So my twins just turned 8, true story, and we want to celebrate their birthday with friends and family. Are you going to bring in that complimentary word again?
No, absolutely. And I think I brought the passes with me. So, no, that'll be a complimentary birthday at Apex, so it will not cost you anything.
Yeah, right.
No,
we'll get in trouble.
It's on the house.
I love it. No, but you guys do birthday parties at Apex.
Birthday parties are a big part of our business.
Yeah.
Yep, you can really customize the package based on the age of the children, and
so if they want to do bowling,
absolutely,
they can do
and again,
bowling.
a lot of different food options, and
Nice.
even decorating the room to
cool.
their favorite superhero or princess, whatever you're looking for, and it's you could really make it a fun experience.
Okay, now I'm parent hat on. Do you guys actually decorate it, or do you let people bring in what they want?
I'll tell you, we've done it both ways. We've had
kidding.
some people go so extreme. I mean, I've seen a couple birthday parties that were way better than anything I ever experienced. And then, the parents will spend hours and they're decorated, and other times just, we'll assist them with putting up, some different things and trying to make it the best they can. But it's, it's you get a wide
variety.
Yes.
It's good that you offer that option, though, because when you're trying to host, when you've got multiple kids and they've got all their friends, and you're like, the last thing I want to do is find paper plates and matching things. So to be able to offer that is a huge relief.
And
for
even
parents.
with the goodie bags and stuff, we offer that as well, because you're right. There's so many things that go into play, and you there's always something missed.
Yeah, it can tally
My daughter came home from I think it was a birthday party, either Apex Kids or downstairs. I forget which one. I actually didn't go with her, but she came home with like the goodie bag that you guys sent home, and I think I sent you the picture. But she was like absolutely decked out in all Apex gear.
That was a good one.
Oh yeah, she wears the socks all the time. I mean, you guys do it's a good little package for folks, and the kids get very excited about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. We're out of time.
We're out of time.
We're out of time. So 2 years you waited to get on the podcast. Was it worth it?
It was. I had a lot of fun. So I always enjoy the conversation, and it's great, reliving some of the experience and memories.
I know.
Really appreciate it.
Oh wait, we wanted to make sure that we mentioned an event that you have coming up.
Yes.
Yeah, this Saturday. It's our third.
Not this Saturday.
I'm sorry, this September. Yeah, September 16th, our third annual 5K fun run, where the proceeds will go to Clear Path for Veterans, as well as our beer summit event that day, to come and sample a lot of different local beers. It's a fun time. We're excited about it. The race is good for anyone, any skill levels. You can walk it, run it, just have fun, and it's going to a good cause.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we've enjoyed the partnership for the past 6 years. We're going to keep that going for as many more as we can think of. And we will not decide today whether you did better on the podcast or Jenny did better on the podcast. We're going to leave that up to you guys to decide. But, shout out to Cecilia's YouTube channel. So that's the takeaway for today.
That was the main goal today.
That's the main goal for today.
No, thank you very much.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 37 of Exploring Economic Development with MEDC. If you missed episode 36, please make sure to check out our YouTube channel for recaps. And we're actually doing a different thing this time around, where we're putting little shorts out. So make sure you check some of those out as well. And until next month, we'll see you then.